Good day to all. Today I'm going to discuss capital budgeting lesson under the subject strategic financial management. Before I start with this lesson, I like to introduce what are the topic outline that can be discussed according to this lesson. First one is introduction of capital budgeting. Second one is components of capital budgeting. Third one is capital budgeting analysis methods. Okay, let's start today's lesson. First one is introduction of capital budgeting. Capital budgeting or capital investment appraisal is decision-making process of selecting and evaluating long-term investments. We can get as examples new machine, replacement of machinery, new plants, new product and research development project. Second one is components of capital budgeting. There are three main components of capital budgeting. First one is initial investment, that is cost of machine. Second one is annual cash flow, that is cash flow due to the project during its operating lifetime or incremental cash flow. Third one is terminal cash flow. That's mean when the project is terminated. As example, salvage value, scrap value, residual value. When we are estimating the cash flows, we are not considering following factors. First one is sunk cost. As example, already paid management consultant fee. Second one is non-cash flow. As example, depreciation. Third one is government grant. And the fourth one is allocated cost. Next part is capital budgeting techniques. According to this flow chart, techniques is divided into two main parts. First one is non-discounted techniques. Second one is discounted techniques. Non-discounted techniques divided into two main parts, payback period and accounting rate of return. Discounted techniques divided into main four parts, discounted payback period, net present value, internal rate of return and profitability index. Okay, let's discuss what is meant by payback period and how can we calculate it. Payback period is the amount of time to recover the cost of an investment. Shortest break are the most attractive investment in this project. According to this formula, we can calculate the payback period. Initial investment divided by annual cash flow. I will put some examples to understand the payback period. First example, Annuity Limited is considering investment in a project which cost is 1 lakh. Cash flow info is 20,000 for 5 years. Calculate the payback period. When the annual cash flow is equal, we can calculate payback period using this formula. According to this question, initial investment should be project cost, that's mean 1 lakh. Annual cash flow is 20,000 for 5 years. 1 lakh divided by 20,000, that answer can as 5 years. Example number 2. When we are calculating the payback period, we use this method for when the annual cash flows are not equal. Okay, let's see. Annuity Limited is considering investment in project which cost is 6 lakhs. Cash inflows are in first year 120,000, second year 140,000, third year 180,000, fourth year 2 lakh, fifth year 250,000. Calculate the payback period. Before we calculate the payback period, we have to do some work in draw a chart with 3 columns. First column for year, second column for cash flow, third column for cumulative cash flow. Year column, put 0 to 5 years. In the cash flow column, put project cost, that means 6 lakhs as minus value because that is cash outflow. And put all the other values as positive value because they are cash inflows. After that, third chart is cumulative cash flow. By this chart, we can find the payback period, years. How to do it? Firstly, the company invested minus 6 lakhs for 0 year. That means we have to cover the minus 6 lakhs according to these years. How to do it? Firstly, minus 6 lakhs plus positive 120,000. The answer became as 480,000 minus. Likewise, we have to do this process step by step until we meet the positive value. According to this question, we met the positive value in the fourth year. We will take as the years the positive value before negative value. Year, that means minus 160,000 value year is third year. Therefore, the payback period years are 3. Then we have to calculate the month. How to calculate it? The positive value before value, that means minus 160,000 divided by fourth value cash flow. That means 2 lakh. Minus 160,000 divided by 2 lakhs. And that answer multiplied by 12. Therefore, months became as 9.6. Therefore, the payback period is 3 years and 10 months. Next one is annual rate of return. The accounted rate of return is the percentage rate of return expected on investment. We can calculate annual rate of return like this. Accounting rate of return equal average annual net profit divided by average investment. Average profit is total of profit during the period. Average investment is initial investment plus assessed value at the end of the project divided by 2. Okay, let's see how to calculate annual rate of return according to this example. Annuity Limited is considering investment in project which cost is 6 lakhs. Cash inflows are in first year 120,000, second year 140,000, third year 180,000, fourth year 2 lakh, fifth year 250,000. Depreciation on straight line basis method, no salvage value, find the annual rate of return. Before we find the annual rate of return, we have to do some working. Firstly, we have to calculate total cash flow from 1 to 5 years. According to this question, the total cash flow came as 890,000. From the total cash flow, we have to deduct the depreciation. How can we calculate the depreciation? Depreciation equal cost minus salvage value divided by number of years. Cost is 6 lakh, no salvage value is given, number of years are 5. Therefore, 6 lakh divided by 5, answer became as 120,000. Therefore, average annual net profit became as 770. Average investment equal initial investment plus assessed value of the end of the project divided by 2. Initial investment 6 lakhs. Assessed value of the end of the project is not given. So 6 lakhs divided by 2. Average investment became as 3 lakhs. Therefore, 770,000 divided by 3 lakhs. Average rate of return became as positive 2.56. Next one is time value of money. Time value of money is that due to the inflation money of the value is changed. By this formula, we can calculate the time value of money. Present value equal future value divided by 1 plus R power of n. According to this example, we can calculate the time value of money. Earlier company wants to have 1 lakh saved up in 5 years. How much you invested today? Earning 70% annually in order to have necessary amount saved. According to this question, future value is 1 lakh and 1 plus R power of n means 1 plus R means discounted factor, that means 7%. Power of n means years, that's given in 5 years. So answer would be rupees 71,298.62. Next one is discounted payback period. The discounted payback period is the amount of time that takes for the initial cost of the project to equal discounted values expected cash flows. How can we calculate discounted payback period? Discounted payback period equal initial investment divided by present value of annual cash flow. I will put some example to calculate the discounted payback period. We will see. And Alia Limited is considering investment in a project which cost is 1 lakh. Cash inflows are in the first year 30,000, second year 50,000, third year 15,000, fourth year 30,000, fifth year 20,000. Consider the cost of capital as 10%. Calculate the discounted payback period. Before we calculate the discounted payback period, we have to do some workings. We have to draw a chart with 5 columns. First column for a year, second column for a cash flows, third column for a discounted factor, fourth column for a present value, fifth column for a discounted cash flow. In the first column, we have to put year 0 to 5. In the second column, we have to put cash flows and cash outflows. In the third column, we have to put discounted factor. How to get discounted factor?
1 plus r power of minus n.
First year, we have to calculate discounted factor in this way.
That means 1 plus 0.1 power of minus 1.
Therefore, answer became as 0.909. Likewise, we have to calculate the discounted factor for all the 5 years. The fourth column is present value. How to get it? Cash flow multiplied by discounted factor. In the first year, cash flow is 30,000. Discounted factor is 0.909. Therefore, 30,000 multiplied by 0.909, answer became as 27,270. Likewise, we have to calculate the present value as this. The last column is discounted cash flow. How to calculate it? Minus 1 lakh is zero value investment cost. We have to recover this investment by these 5 years. How to do it? Minus 1 lakh plus positive 27,270. Therefore, answer became as minus 72,730. Likewise, we have to do this process until we made the positive value. According to this question, we made the positive value in the third year. How to get the years with this question? The positive value became in the third year. Therefore, positive value before value is 31,430. That year is second year. Therefore, discounted payback period year is 2. Then we have to calculate the month. We have to calculate the month like this. Discounted cash flow positive value before value divided by the discounted cash flow fourth year present value. That means 31,430 divided by 45,060. And that answer multiplied by 12 months. Therefore, answer became as 8.37. Therefore, discounted payback period according to this question 2 years and 8 months. Next one is net present value. Net present value is the present value of all future cash flows, positive or negative over the entire life of an investment. We can find net present value by net present value equal present value of future cash flow minus initial investment. Project is accepted with the net present value is positive. Okay, let's move to this example to calculate NPV. An earlier limited considering investment in project which cost is 1 lakh. Cash inflows are in the first year 30,000, second year 50,000, third year 15,000, fourth year 30,000, and fifth year 20,000. Residual value is 25,000. Discounted factor is 10%. What is the net present value of this project? Before we calculate the net present value, we have to do some workings. We have to draw a chart with 4 columns. First one is year, second one is cash flow, third one is discounted factor, and last one is present value. As same as we have to put year 0 to 5. And cash flows in the 0 year we put it as minus 1 lakh because that is cash outflow. Others values are positive, they are cash inflows. Residual value 25,000. We put residual value into 5th year, that is the end of the year. We have to add residual value by cash flows. Therefore, 5th year cash flow is 45,000. Then get discounted factors of 10%. I will say it before it's same as in the before example. Then we have to get present value by the multiply by cash flow into discounted factor, then we get as present value. In the first year, 27,217, second year, 41,300, likewise. After that, we have to calculate all the present value of 1 to 5 years. That's come as 128,225. Then we put this information to that formula. Present value of the future cash flow is 128,225. Initial investment is 1 lakh. Therefore, NPV is come as positive 28,225. This project is accepted because NPV is positive. Next one is internal rate of return. The internal rate of return is discounted rate that makes the net present value. According to this formula, we can calculate the IRR. rate of A plus NPV at A divided by NPV at A minus NPV at B into rate of B minus rate of A. A means lower rate of return with positive NPV. B means higher rate of return with negative NPV. Project is accepted, IRR is greater than the firm cost of capital. According to this example, you can understand how to calculate the IRR. An earlier limited is considering investment in project which cost is 6 lakh. Cash inflows are first year 120,000, second year 140,000, third year 180,000, fourth year 2 lakh, fifth year 250,000. Cost of capital is 10%. Calculate the internal rate of return. Before we calculate IRR, we have to do some workings by drawing chart with 6 columns. First column is year, second column cash flow, third column discounted factor, fourth column present value, fifth column is another discounted factor, and the last one is present value of a discounted factor B. Then we have to put year 0 to 5, then put cash flow. First one is for negative because that is our cash outflow, others are positive because they are cash inflows. We have to get discounted factors in 10% and present value by calculating cash flow into discounted factor. According to the discounted factor A, that means 10%, present value came as 51,500. According to discounted 20, present value came as minus 102 and 190. Then put this information into IRR formula. R of A means rate of A, that means 10%. NPV at A is 51,500 divided by NPV at A 51,500 minus NPV at B, that's means 102 190 into rate of B means 20%, rate of A means 10%, 20 minus 10. The IRR value is given as 13.35%. This project is accepted because IRR is greater than the cost of capital. Next one is profitability index. Profitability index measures the ratio between the present value of future cash flows. We can calculate profitability index by present value of cash flow divided by initial investment. Profitability index greater than 1 indicates that the project should be processed. According to this example, we can get an idea about profitability index. According to the example given in the net present value, calculate the profitability index. In the net present value of example, we can get present value of cash flows 128,225, and also initial investment gave as 1 lakh. So 128,225 divided by 1 lakh, answer is done as 1.28. Next one is annuity. Annuity is sum of money payable yearly or at other regular intervals. We can find annuity by this formula. Present value of annuity equal annuity x 1 minus 1 plus r power of minus n divided by r. Okay, let's move to annuity example. ABC company plan to start the project period 20 years. Y0 investment 25 million, Y0 working capital 5 million, income 1 to 5 years 30 million, income 6 to 20 years 45 million, expenses 1 to 20 years 30 million, scrap value is 5 million at the end of the project, cost of capital 10%. Calculate the NPV. When we are calculate the NPV according to this question, we have to find the annuity. How can we find the annuity? We can find the annuity by this into that information to this formula. When the question is given annuities, we have to calculate by this method. That's mean firstly we have to calculate annuities by 20 years, 5 years, and 6 to 20 years. First, how to calculate? Present value annuity factors for 20 years. Calculate by this. 1 minus 1 plus 0.1 power of minus 20 divided by 0.1. Then answer became as 8.54. Second one is present value factors for 5 years. That calculate by 1 minus 1 plus 0.1 power minus 5 divided by 0.1. The answer became as 3.791. Cumulative annuity factor for 6 to 20 years we can calculate by subtracting one method to 2. That's answer became as 4.723. Likewise, we have to put these factors, discounted factors, to calculate the NPV that is shown in the second box. Adjustment related to the capital budgeting. Adjustment 1. Inflation. Production and sale unit of new machine is expected to be 1 lakh year 1 to 4 and 5th year production and sale 90,000 units. Each units can be sold 20 per unit in year 1, rising by 10% each year due to the inflation and the variable cost 50% of the sale value. Fixed cost is 50,000 for each year. Find the future cash flow. First, we put year 1 to 5. Then we have to put sale unit for each year. Sale unit for 1 to 4 years are the same. That is 1 lakh. We put it as 100. And 5th year sale unit is 90,000. We put it as 90. Then put unit price for each year, 20 per unit. And after that, calculate the total sale value. The sales value became as in the first year, 2,000, second year 2,000, third year 2,000, fourth year 2,000, last year 1,800. After that, we have to look inflation 10% for the sales value. How to do it? There is a formula to calculate inflation rate. That is 1 plus R power of n. R means discounted factor. N means previous year. According to this question, there is no inflation rate for the first year. We have to calculate inflation from the second year. How to do it? In the second year, total sales value is 2,000. That value multiplied by 1.1 power of 1. Therefore, value became as 2,200. Likewise, third year also doing same process. Third year, total sale value is 2,000. 2,000 multiplied by 1 point power of 2. Power of 2 means previous year. Therefore, sales value became as 2,420. Likewise, we have to calculate inflation 10% for each 2 year to 5 year. After that, according to this question, they mention variable cost is 50% of the sale value. That means sale value is half. Therefore, variable cost for the first year is 1,000. Second year is 1,100. Likewise, 50% of the sales value we have to put as the variable cost. After that, sales value minus variable cost, we can get contribution. According to the first year, the contribution of the first year is 1,000. Second year is 1,100. Third year is 1,210. Likewise, we have to calculate contribution for all the 5 years. After that, we put fixed cost. Fixed cost is not changed. That is constant value for all the years. So we put 15,000 for each year by minus value. Therefore, after in the first year cash flow, 950. Second year cash flow, 1,050. Likewise, we have to calculate cash flow by deducting fixed cost from the contribution. Second adjustment is capital allowances. How can we calculate the capital allowances? The cost of mixing, packaging, plant installation is 1 lakh and the project is 5 years. Capital allowance rate is 20. We have to get capital allowance rate for 5 years. That's how can we get 1 lakh multiplied by 20%. Then we can get capital allowances rate for 1 year. That's became 20,000. Then we can put 20,000 for 5 years. 100,000 is covered by 5 years. If there is additional cost, we have to calculate capital allowances for that also. Third adjustment is taxation. According to this example, you can understand how to calculate the taxable. The taxable income of the project 1 to 5 years, 1 year 15, second year 30, third year 14, fourth year 22,000, year 45. Taxation is 30%, then 5% of tax need to pay in the same year and the balance 50%. No 1 year in arrears. Calculate the tax payment. Years 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We put years as this way. Taxable income for 1 year 15,000, second year 30,000, third year 40,000, fourth year 20,000, fifth year 45,000. We have to calculate taxation 30% by taxable income. In the first year 50,000 multiplied by 30%, that answer became as 4,500. Second year 30,000 multiplied by 30%, that's answer comes as 9,000. Likewise, we have to calculate taxation. After that, according to King's question, they given then 50% of tax needed to pay in the same year and the balance 50% on 1 in arrears. Then we have to calculate by this way. The first year total taxation is 4,500. According to this value, the half is paid for this year. Arrears is paid for in the second year. Likewise, we have to calculate the taxation. In the first year, value of taxation is 4,500, is half mean 2,250. 200 and 2,050 is pay in 50% is pay in same year. 202 into 5,000 is pay in second year arrears. Likewise, we have calculate tax 50% by same year and another 50% by arrears. Then tax payment total became as first year 2,250, second year 6,750, third year 6,600, fourth year 5,400, fifth year 10,050. Adjustment 4 is tax on salvage value. How to calculate it? Aria Limited Company cost of assets is 100,000, salvage value 20,000, capital assets 90,000. Calculate tax on salvage value. First, we put salvage value as 20,000. Then we have to get taxable written down value. How can we get taxable written down value? Value of assets minus capital allowances claim. Value of assets is 1 lakh. Capital allowances claim is 90,000. Then taxable written down value became as 10,000. Taxable profit is 10,000. Lastly, adjustment 5. In this adjustment, we have to pay attention for this special note. Working capital requirement will recover normally at the end of the project, and also cash flows are normally at the end of the year if it is specially mentioned as beginning of the year. It means end of the previous year.
I think now you can understand the lesson capital budgeting. Thank you for paying attention for this video. Thank you.